Well, hello everyone. Today we are reviewing some Haitian rum, and we are not doing Clarin. We are not doing Barbancourt. Well, we're kind of doing Barbancourt. We're doing Providence. Providence in Port-au-Prince, a relatively new distillery set up by one of the other branches of the Barbancourt family, set up by Herbert Barbancourt-Ling, with a little help of the folks from Vellier. Now, what I have got on the table today, two of these came from that same group of folks who have sent me stuff in the past very kindly, but have asked me not to disclose who they are or even show me the show the bottles that this stuff came in, because it's a legal gray area, and I don't want to get them in trouble. However, they did also send me some stickers, which I am allowed to show you. Like, for example, here is a Providence rum sticker, and here is a La Maison and Vellier sticker. Isn't that interesting? So those are going to stay right here in place of my usual set of bottles, and we're going to get right in this. So yeah, Providence. So it's not Clarin. It's not, profound, glorious backyard cane hooch. It's not Clarin. But it's also not, multi-column still Barbancourt stuff. This is, it's cane juice with a little bit of cane syrup mixed in, as I remember, and it is pot distilled, and basically it's like a Mueller eau de vie still, if I remember correctly. So a little bit of a different energy, a little bit of a different vibe. I've had some unaged rums from them before, and I thought they haven't been my favorites, but I thought they would really age quite well. So what I've got here that I'm particularly excited about is two aged expressions. I have got the 2020 and the 2021. The 2021, I got this. I got this sample bottle in a split, not from the aforementioned kind folks, so I can show this to you. All right, but let us start out with another unaged example. This is the Dunder and Syrup from, I think, 2021 sometime. What this release is so it's not just fermented with cane juice and cane syrup. They are actually throwing a little bit of Dunder in there, a little bit of stillage, and that is a practice, probably most associated with Jamaica. But you also see it all over the place in Haiti, in Clarence. So not a huge reach here, but I'm excited to see how this changes the profile of their distillate. On the nose, I mean, first of all, you're never calling Jamaica on the nose here. But it is quite interesting. You know what this reminds me of? Actually, it reminds me of some of the rum et al. Stuff distilled by Robin over in California. So it's got a little bit of a fig mulberry thing, a little bit of like a green note. Tumbleweeds, spinach, maybe like cooked spinach, but nice. Fennel, definitely. A little bit of olive brine, and then there's a like dentist plaster note. The stuff that when the dentist is making a cast of your mouth, they will put some plaster in. It's got a little bit of that kind of dental plaster note to it. You got a little bit of like regular rocks too, a little bit of like regular sandstone, but yeah, there's definitely that. A touch of pineapple, that's fun. Orange peel, lemon peel. That's about it. I mean, it's on first contact. It's got a little bit more fruitiness than what I remember the first drops having, the undundered version of this. It's got a little bit more of interest for me. Let's see what happens on the palate. Oh, I like this better. It's got a fun back-end pepper and dental plaster and salted licorice kick, which I'm really enjoying. If you gave this to me neat, I would not be guessing there was Dunder in the fermentation of this. It just doesn't present like what you would traditionally call funky. It just presents as like a really nice cane juice rum. Yeah. Dentist stuff. Fig, mulberry, subtle. I mean, it's almost more like mulberry eau de vie than like real mulberries. Touch of pineapple, citrus peel, a little bit of white tea. I already mentioned salted licorice, didn't I? Salted licorice. And just like, I feel like I've said nice things about Providence's kind of mouth presence before, but I think this is even better than the ones I've had previously. Like, this has a lot of pepper, a lot of like just spicy texture to it, and not a ton of length to it. I mean, there's a little bit. But the finish kind of sticks around. There's also some nice flowers. I don't think I mentioned florals. There's some nice flowers. A little bit of basil in there too. Just a really nice cane juice rum. I don't know the price point on this. It's going to be more expensive than what you can get from, Martinique, that kinds of stuff. But it's also just a fun change of pace. What's the proof on this? 56. 56, which is pretty good. I'm going to give this a couple squirts of water. Bring it down, see how it reacts, see if it likes it or not. 3, 4... do like a couple drops more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's move on. Glass number 2. Glass number 2 is the 2020. This is hitting the U.S. market basically now, but it's a 3-year-old. 52% alcohol by volume, and the casks of the thing I find very interesting, but I'm also kind of confused by it because they're calling it ex-Providence casks, which means, but this is 2020. This is basically right when the distillery opened, which means that they had to have like aged Providence in these casks for them to be ex-Providence before there was a Providence. I don't know. I don't understand, but it's ex-rum American oak. Let's go with that. And let's see what we got. I mean, yeah, it's... So my fear with this would be that the American oak is just going to take over. Because aged cane juice rum, it's very delicate to age in lots of respects. It just, especially if you just throw it in any kind of American oak without kind of checking up on it, it just turns into bourbon. That's what it does. This does not smell like bourbon. You're definitely getting vanilla, some creme brulee, but there's also just a ton of kind of freshly picked mint, basil, licorice, sea salt, that dental plaster thing that's in there. I mean, honestly, it smells like a little bit of an aged version of the unaged rum. Certainly some nutmeg, cinnamon, white pepper. Lovely kind of like candied orange thing to this. And that's most of what's going. And some florals, some nice. I don't know, vague florals, nice florals. Nothing I can nail down. We're not even approaching potpourri, but something floral on the palate. This is starting to get a little bit closer to it's turning into bourbon territory. I'm glad they pulled this when they did. That said, it's still delicious. Like, again, driven by like vanilla cookies, vanilla wafers, creme brulee, black pepper. Sweet tea. You got the licorice. You got the little hint of sea salt. Half a black olive. The wood is winning the fight here, but the rum is still creeping through, and I like that. Orange peel, candied orange, I should say. More sweet tea. Cinnamon sticks. Kind of nice medicinal bitter thing on this, which is fun. But it's not the same. It's not the same as the dental plaster thing. What is that? Almost like I bit down on a pill or something. I was eating a little bit like medicinal, minerally, if that makes sense. It's yummy. It's delicious. A lot of people are going to like this. For me, I might have been more impressed by the Dunder and syrup personally, because it's just this is much more rummy to me than the 2020. But 2. Let's go 3, and then we'll add more as we need it. That said, I have to confess, as an achievement, to have aged this in ex-Providence casks, their own casks, is a huge achievement. Like, it makes this kind of its own self-contained distillery. Like, they ain't sourcing. If they can do this, it means they don't need to source casks from other producers in order to age their stuff, and that is tremendous. That is huge. Add like a little bit more, 1 drop more. I'm going to leave it alone. 2021. This has a little bit of a different cask mix. What do you got? This is also 52%, but it is ex-Providence casks, so their own wood, ex-bourbon, and ex-Caroni. They got some ex-Caroni in there, so expect some tire fire. This is also 3 years old. Again, 2021 vintage. Interesting. Much more subdued in the nose. What is that? Way more subdued in the nose. It smells dark. It smells like, very peppery. Lots of black pepper. Trying to get in there. What is that? There is some coffee cake. Like, yeah. Okay, there it is. Okay. So it's coffee cake and tire fire, all covered in enormous amounts of black pepper. But it's like I'm fighting my way through the cloud of black pepper in order to kind of smell anything else here. What else? There's some rocks. That little, I think it's there's some minerality. I think it's the dental plaster trying to creep through. A little lemon peel, some flowers. But yeah, on the nose, this is the tightest of the bunch. Tight. It just smells dark. It smells like, this would be Batman's kind of rum, On the palate. Dense. I think dense is the word here. I'm looking for the rum in this. This is really cask dominated. I mean, I was worried that the 2020 would be the one that would be just buried in wood. No. This is the one where there's just a lot of wood on this, and it's dense. It's hard to kind of tease apart what's going on. Lots of pepper. Let's start with that. Pepper and ash. Campfire ash. Little bits of burning rubber cement. Olives. Some kind of dried fruit. What is that? Like a really burned fig. Something like that. More black pepper. Recently used coffee grinds, sort of wet coffee grinds that are still hot, maybe. Clove, cinnamon sticks. Aggressive mint, not freshly picked mint. This is like peppermint sticks. Yeah, a little bit of citrus peel in there. I'm naming off a fair number of notes, but I'm really having to fight to get them, and it's just, this is it's tight, it's difficult, it's dense. I mean, it feels very Vellier in certain kinds of ways. I feel like there's a certain kind of crowd that loves these really kind of aggressive rums that kind of take over your mouth and don't let go for the rest of the day. And that's fair. I'm going to give this some water. We'll come back to it. I really want to see if this loosens up. A little bit more. Okay. All right, my palate is shot. I did not expect the 3-year-old Providence to be a palate killer. That's a little bit of a palate killer, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the Caroni casks, but it doesn't really taste just like it's the Caroni cask. It's interesting. Let's move back. Taste through these again. Back to the cane and Dunder and syrup. I'm sorry. It's such a delightful change of pace from this monster over here. I mean, it's a good monster, but it's a lot. This just smells like a nice cane juice rum with like a little, take some of a Robbins Rum et al. Stuff, add a couple of drops to a good cane juice rum, you've sort of got what this is. It's a little twiggy. Rocks. The dental plaster thing has kind of receded a little bit. We're now just on straight on like sea stones. Yeah, flowers, sea stones, citrus, fennel, touch of olive, and a little bit of the twiggy thing and the mulberry thing, which reminds me of robin stuff. Interesting. On the palate, I think I like this better without water. It just loses a little bit of detail when you add water to this. One more time. Still very peppery, very fun. Has that kind of white tea thing. I'm enjoying this, but I was enjoying it more at a full-blown 56%, so I would keep it there. And I'm going to grade this. I'm going to grade this an 86 minus. Because, yeah, that is how I feel. Very good. Drink it neat. Moving on. 2020, Providence, 3-year-old. In ex-Providence barrels, however they did that. Maybe they just, I don't know, maybe they just season the barrels with some really fresh rum for like a couple of months and then, I don't know how they did it. Let's see what we got. We're sort of starting to get some rosewater stuff happening now. Oh, this is nice. Wow, okay. Big old explosion of flowers and like flower candy. If you've ever gotten those kind of mixed boxes of Turkish Delights with not just the regular rosewater Turkish Delights, but the other ones, that's kind of what this smells like. Except, not really. Except, like it's in the context of an agricole rum. So you got some vanilla in there, a little bit of sea salt, licorice. This is kind of okay. So this is kind of simplified and dumbed down with water. The white rum. This has actually kind of gotten blossomed a little bit. So that's nice on the palate. Just, yeah, really delicious. And happily, to me, with water, the spirit kind of reasserts itself. I don't think the whole event kind of gains in complexity or kind of overall quality. It's just the wood pulls back a little bit and the spirit comes forward a little bit. But in any case, this is delicious. This is delicious. It's floral, vanilla, desserty, rummy stuff. It's like smack dab in the middle. This is an 85. 85 points. It is absolutely delicious. It's not, knocking out of the park, but it's a very solid single, almost a double. And, sometimes the most important thing to do is to get on base. Gosh darn it. It gets on base. All right, moving on to the 2021. This, I really hope, has kind of broken out into a grin or a smile or something since I've added water to it. Let's see what we got. It's so dense. I would, just coming to this blind, I would think some kind of European oak. It's really dark. Not just in color, but it smells peppery, and it's got like that burned fig thing. I don't know if I would name French oak. I might name sherry, but it does not. It doesn't smell like good old Quercus alba. It doesn't really open up much. It's very ashy. It's very peppery. It's got a little tire fire. Still dense, dark, serious. Has its tough face on the palate. But on the palate, this loosens up. Okay, so you are still getting a ton of black pepper, a ton of burning rubber. It's still very austere, but in the middle of that, you are getting some vanilla and some root beer cream soda stuff, which is very nice. Some salted licorice too, of course. Now that this is kind of showing what it's got, doesn't feel like it's pummeling my mouth. This is very good. Dark, burned, intense. Actually, there was a little bit of that kind of dental plaster thing in here now. Wasn't so evident before, but now it is. Orange, lemon. But yeah, the root beer thing is kind of saving this for me. It's kind of wrapping this up and uniting all this darkness to kind of give it a little sun. It's like the end of the last Batman movie. It's he's been gothy and grim-faced and angry the entire time, and at the end he just he's out in the sunlight, helping people out, and people are thanking him, and he's here. It's that. It's just a little bit of light comes through, and it just makes the whole thing work. I like this. Batman would like this too. I'm not going to go crazy. 86 or 86 plus? 86. I'm going to call this an 86 pointer. It did gain a whole point, maybe a point and a half, just how it reacted to water. So it's like an 85 plus. Think of it that way. And yeah, that's the video. So the Dunder and syrup, 86 minus. I like this a lot. Don't give water to it. It does not like it. It just kind of loses some detail, I think. The Providence 3-year-old from 2020, absolutely delicious, especially when you add water. It just kind of gets very floral and candied. 85 points, right in the middle. The kind of thing I like to keep around to open up flights, to kind of just pour for guests and say, here, what do you think of this? And they say, oh, this is lovely, thank you. 86 points for the 2021, which is a little bit of a beast until you give it some time or some water, and then it just, it friendlies up on you a little bit. And yeah, that is the video. 3 Providences done and dusted. Thanks for watching, and cheers.